Magic Monday live, and today is one of those ones where I am just going to let you challenge me. I'm going to ask you to challenge me. I'm not sure if the right things come up, whether it says Magic Monday live or whether the right descriptions come up. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's Magic Monday live, and I'm going to do a fun thing with you today. So if you're watching on replay, keep watching, because this is going to become fun. He says. We'll find out anyway. So it is Monday the 27th of March. Oh my goodness, 27th of March. That means it's the last Magic Monday of this month. But there's people here live. There's people watching. There's people going to have some fun today. It's going to be a good one. I can just tell it's going to be a good one. Might be a quick one. It might be a little bit longer. It's down to you. But anyway, let's do this first. Do you want this?
It's the start of the week. Grab your coffee cups. It's Magic Monday Live.
Nice. I've just realised that I'm on wide angle. So I'm showing a big amount of space and a little me sort of stuck in the middle of it, which is fine. But I might just adjust that just a second. If I do that, is that better? Yeah? More Michael? Is that better? Is that better? That's a bit too much. There we are. Probably about there, I think. Oh, what about there? That looks good, doesn't it? That's fine. Well, hello everybody. It is lovely to be here doing this Magic Monday live. And I thought I'd given you the title of what I was doing, but for some reason it hasn't popped up. I don't think it's popped up anyway. You might be seeing something different. Let me know if you are seeing something different. But it apparently should have said, I know the answer to everything. Right? I know the answer to everything. Or I can answer everything, I think is what I said. I can answer anything. Please ask me a question. So that's the challenge today. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm having April off. And so I'll either do a pre-record of some of these or I'll miss them. But either way, I'm not going to worry about it because I'm having April away from all of this. And I'm going to do some other things and I'm going to get my head just to relax a little bit. It's one of those things you teach other people to do it, but you don't always do it yourself. So what I'm going to do is it's like last day of term, although next week is actually last day of term. And any question at all, I will be able to answer it. So there's the challenge. You put it in the chat, any question, and I will answer it. And while you're doing that, I'm just going to tell you about another couple of little things that are happening, which is always very exciting. So first of all, I have just found, well not found, I knew I was getting them. We've had a local bookshop who had ordered a bunch of copies of Write That Book, and they've been selling them for a month, and they said, could we have a little bit longer on our sale return? I thought, actually, yes. So I've given them some, but I've taken the rest of them back. So I'm going to do a little special flash sale with this book probably tomorrow. So if you want to order a copy of Write That Book, but you haven't yet, don't worry. Don't do it until tomorrow, until the flash sale starts. What I'm saying is, don't order it today, because otherwise I'm going to end up giving you a little refund on your flash sale stuff, if that makes sense. Anyhow, has anybody asking any questions yet? Probably not. This could be the fastest Magic Monday live ever. Remember, I will answer any question. That's the challenge. Fiona's here, which is always lovely, and Karen's here from Perthshire, and Diane's here, which is always lovely, and Noel is here, which is lovely, and Diane's here again. Better, more Michael, not too much. I think you were talking about my zooming in there, weren't you? Yeah, well, so this is slightly one of those situations. For some reason, there seems to be just a very few people watching today. Maybe I didn't promote it enough. Maybe I haven't sold it in. That's what you're meant to do, isn't it? You're meant to sell these things in. And I haven't done it enough. Anyway, look, I'm going to... Oh, brilliant. David saves the day. Thank you. Oh, David, you see, thank you so much for this. How do I know what to start with when I go to write my book? Well, it's a great question. And the question is, you have to start with your passion. So, David, here's the thing. I'd love to help you, definitely. One of the things I talk about in here a lot is about finding your passion first. Now, this is, sometimes people kind of go, oh, you need to follow your passion when you get a job. That is kind of true, but not always true. But when you write a book, it definitely is. And the reason why is because if you don't have it as a passion, you quit. So sometimes people write what they think they should write rather than what they really want to write. And that's when halfway through the process, they end up quitting. And we don't want you to do that, David. Now, suddenly, here's a question. Thank you for asking the first one, by the way, David. I appreciate that. Question from Fiona. What's your wife's favourite perfume? Right, I know it now. And I've flipping gone and forgotten. But, Fiona, because you've done this to me before, I'm going to find it now. I'm going to find it online and tell you. Oh, gosh. I've forgotten the flipping name. Oh, I can't just search perfume on the Google, can I? I think actually. Oh, God. This is terrible. This is so embarrassing. Let me tell you a little story about it, though. So we, I know it's not, I know it's not what you're looking for. Is that the question, Fiona? And I said I could answer any question. Right. We went to London a little while ago, and we went into Selfridges, and we went to this particular place for this perfume, which is called, and they had a lovely concession, and they mix it for you there. God, somebody might know. They do a mix of it. Oh God, wait a minute. Mixed. I'm gonna find it. Mixed perfume. London. Oh, this is so bad. Oh God, I mean, there's millions. There's millions. Sorry. Last chance. This is me writing. If you're sticking with me here, by the way, you're brilliant. And there's a bunch more questions come in, which I'll be there in a second. Okay. Perfume concession, Selfridges. And see if it pops up. See if there's a list of them. Find your favourite brands. Here we are. Look, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Oh God, then of course there's millions, isn't there? Perfume, brands, jewellery, Project Earth, women, all occasions. That's women's clothing. Oh God, I've gone right down a rabbit warren with this one, haven't I? I'm sorry, Fiona. I've blown it. Right, I'm going back. Oh, here's a quick. Let's do this one instead. It might suddenly pop into my head. Are you a digital or paper planner? Well, I use both. I use this here, which is called a Remarkable, and this is really cool because it's digital, and it's also paper, so it does both. So you get the best of both worlds with this. I recommend them. It's a good bit of kit. Where is everyone? I don't know. I really don't know. That is a good question. We normally have at least 3 times the number of people who are watching live. Maybe they know something we don't know. Karen, how do you stop self-sabotaging thoughts that pop into your head unbidden? Karen, see, this is what we're talking about. Personal development questions rather than perfume questions. So, you can't, is the answer. You cannot stop them. It's only how you deal with them. That's the thing. So when they come in, and I get this, you get this, everybody gets them, they pop into your head, and you say, thank you for the thought, and then you need to replace it with something else. So this is why people say, for me, affirmations are about changing thoughts. They're not about magically conjuring something up and making something appear. But if you have an affirmation that you say, which you really believe, and you say it sort of 3 times, like, if you find yourself procrastinating, instead if you just say, do it now, do it now, do it now, and do a bit of that with it as well, you're much more likely to get rid of that thought and move that thought on. So the answer is you can't stop them, but you can replace them. Hi, Michael. Frank would like to ask you if you think Newcastle United will make the top 4 this season. Do you know what? It's looking very likely. Won't that be amazing? Could you imagine that? We've got some very, very tough games coming up towards the end of the season. But potentially right now, I mean, we are just a couple of points away from top 4. And we've got 2 games in hand over at Tottenham, who've just lost their manager. Mind you, sometimes when people lose their manager, they suddenly play really, really well for an assistant manager. So Spurs might go crazy. I'm Michael from Clare in Colchester. Hello. Thank you for tuning in. Is it an unusual name? Fiona, I can't even think of the name, man. That's the thing. I can't even think of it right now. Shout on Christine. Oh, yeah, she's going to love that, isn't she? She's busy doing something else. I'm going to start screaming for her. Christine, what's the name of that perfume? Where's the best place to travel to and why? Well, you know what? We were talking about this the other day. If you had to go and live in one other country, where would it be? Was the question that we talked about, and it was Spain. But then we started to look at different parts of Spain, and we were going to go Formentera, but actually now we're thinking that the problem with Formentera is not a lot there, so it's brilliant for a break. But if you want to go and travel somewhere, I'm going to say go to Mallorca and go to somewhere near Palma. It's just brilliant there, isn't it? No, it's not Fragrance Lab. Oh, flippin' heck, man. What is it called? Do you know what? Officially, because there's just a handful of people watching, I'm going to find this. Just give me 30 seconds here to find where these things are. Because, is it? Oh, all fragrances. Here we are. Right, now, let me see if I can find it under here, because they've got a list of all the fragrances that they... Aha! I found it! Hey! Right, the brand is called Le Labo. Le Labo. Lelabo. Right, there we go. And the one that we bought the other day, which she absolutely loves, I think was called Another 13. I think it's Another 13 by Le Labo. Is that how you say it? Yes. Anyway, that was it. Oh, what a relief. Honestly, that was so embarrassing. So embarrassing. Right, here we go. What would you say to somebody with a mission statement for meaningful goals who regularly fails to abide by it or work for them, asking for a friend? Do you know what, David? I would just say, first of all, it would depend if they asked. If they asked for advice, then I would say, if for your friend, I would then give them some advice. Otherwise, I would just let them get on with it, because if their mission statement and their goals aren't something that they can actually do, I would say, right, let's go back to basics here. So, example. Have you heard of true will and false will? So true will means that you say you're going to do something, and false will says that you're going to do something. The difference is one of them you actually see it through. So I had a client once who said that they wanted to lose some weight, and their method was going to be that they were going to stop eating bread. I'm going to stop eating bread because I love bread and I eat it all the time. I mean, first of all, just that statement in itself, you go, that's not really going to work, is it? And instead, we said, look, let's do this. The true will muscle is a muscle that you need to build by, doing something with it every single day. Like if you haven't done push-ups and I suddenly say, okay, do 100 push-ups, you can't do it. But you can do one push-up. So you do what you can do. So we changed this rather than, I'm never going to eat bread again. That was what they were basically saying. To, I won't eat bread on Mondays. And I said, no, you've got to make this as a true will decision. I won't eat bread on Mondays. And they were like, yeah, 100% I can do that. And they did it for 4 weeks. And then we had another session. I said, how are you getting on? Brilliant. I haven't eaten bread on Mondays. In fact, I haven't missed it at all on a Monday. Great. Add another day. So they made it Mondays and Wednesdays. And then after our 90 days, I normally do coaching with people for 90 days, we got to the end of the session, and the idea was that they wouldn't eat bread on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They would try not to on Saturdays, but they wouldn't promise. But they would enjoy bread on Fridays and Sundays. Now, that took 90 days to get to that particular point. But it was interesting because I saw them a year later, actually met them, and we were having a little lunch, and they came along with a bread basket, loads of it, and they went straight away, no thanks, I don't eat bread on weekdays, I think is what they said, something like that. And it was brilliant because I said, do you do that just because of me? They went, no, absolutely not. 100% I do not eat bread now on weekdays. Friday night, maybe have a little treat, and that's it. So it became a new statement, a new thing that they could do, and the reason that they could do it was because they used their true will muscle. All right, thank you. Never heard of it after all that. Yeah, it's brilliant. I have to say the brand is fantastic, and the guy in Selfridges was outstanding who served us. Yay, well done, Mike. Thank you very much. It's there. My friend is grateful. Thank you. All right. In a book launch, is it a good idea to mention that there is a sequel being written? But wouldn't do any harm. But remember, the purpose of a book launch, if we're talking books today, is to sell your current book. That is the primary purpose of the book launch. All right, folks. Well, look, I'm going to see you in a month live. I'm going to have a bit of time away from this box that I'm in here, and I will be back in May, beginning of May, and it'll be a bank holiday Monday, probably beginning of May when we come back. So I'll do that then. Oh, wait a minute. Question. Which of your books would you change if you had the chance? Adding something or taking something away? Well, one of the things about doing revised editions, Diane, is you can do that. So all of my books other than The Edge have had second or third editions, and in some cases fourth editions. The Edge is the only one that's remained the same. And I don't know why, but anyway, they decided not to. And so all of them have evolved, and it's interesting because I remember writing stuff in the original How to Be Brilliant, and then in the last edition of How to Be Brilliant, talking about the fact I changed my mind on stuff, and I no longer believe the stuff that I wrote in the first edition of How to Be Brilliant, which was quite interesting. All right, thank you very much, Fiona. We will see you in May. Thanks very much, everybody, for joining me today. Didn't quite work out how I thought it was going to today. I had this strange idea that there was going to be, loads of people and we're going to pile in with the questions. But anyway, it's fine. We'll see you soon, everybody. Be brilliant. Bye. Now I can't find the button to end the broadcast.